All right, welcome to word problems with decimals. We're going to look at some of the decimal word problems the word problems that can come up that have to do with decimals and our operations with them. So John needed to hang a picture he bought. He drilled a hole 3/8 inch in diameter. Okay, so that's, if you're talking about the hole, what they mean by this, the diameter is 3/8 of an inch, so all the way across. D equals all the way across. The nail intended to use was 0.5 inches in diameter. Was the hole too small or too large, and by how much? So we basically want to compare 3/8 to 0.5, say which one's bigger and what happens. So in order to turn a fraction into a decimal, we divide. All right, so we're down and we're out. We're going to put the 8 on the outside and the 3 goes on the inside. I can't make a 8 go into a 3, so I have to add the decimal and a 0, and then I pop it up. So 8 goes into 30 twice, and I get 16. And I get 14 left, and I add another 0, and I get that. Oh, wait. So that means, remember, if you get here 14, which is bigger than 8, I messed up and I have to try again. So let's try this again. 8 goes into 30 3 times and I get 24. Sorry, it's getting late. And when I subtract, I get 6. Add another 0 and I bring it down and I get 60. And then I know 8 goes into 67 times. I get 56. I subtract and I get 4. And again, I have to keep going because they didn't tell me what to round to. They didn't tell me when to stop. So I have to figure it out. 8 goes into 45 times. And when I subtract that 40, I'm going to be done because I get the remainder of 0. So if we look at this, let me just erase here right for a second. Okay. I am comparing 0.375 to 0.5. And if I just compare their first numbers, the 0.5 is bigger. Okay, even if I add the 2 placeholders, you can see that 0.500 is bigger than 0.375. So the whole is too small. The nail is bigger. And how much bigger is it by? So now we need to take 0.500 and subtract 0.375. So we line up our decimals with subtraction. I make that a 4, I make that a 10, but now I have to make that a 9 to carry it down over to the right. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 7 is 2. 4 minus 3 is 1. And I place that decimal right in line with it. So you could add on to that sentence if you wanted to and say the nail is bigger by 0.125 of an inch. And remember, 2 like quotation marks or 2 tick marks is inch. All right, Elena's hair salon uses an average of 5.4 quarts of shampoo per month. If Elena wants to order for the year, how many quarts of shampoo does she need to order? So this is 1 month, 5.4, and she wants to order for a year. Well, how many months are in a year? That's going to be 12. So I want to take 5.4 and I want to multiply it by 12. When I'm counting up my decimals to the right of the decimal, there's only 1. 12 doesn't even have a decimal, so you don't need to worry about it. So I'm remembering that 1 is my number that I'm going to need to move my decimal at the end. Excuse me. So 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. Placeholder of 0. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 5 is 5. I add 8, 4, 6. I place my decimal and move it once, and I get 64.8. So the salon should buy 64.8 quarts for the year. All right. Number 3, XYZ telephone company is running an introductory offer on their new long distance program. The program charges $10.95 for an initiation fee, then offers the first 10 minutes at 0.08 per minute with 0.05 per minute for any additional minutes. Sylvester decided to purchase the program in June and made long-distance calls that month for the following number of minutes: 24, 13, 18, 45, 22, 34, 10, and 15. How much was his monthly bill for his first month of service? So let's go back and read this again. XYZ Telephone Company is running an introductory offer on their new long-distance program. The program charges a $10.95 initiation fee. So that is something that everyone gets no matter what. Plus, and that's $10.95. All right. We're going to add to that the first 10 minutes at 0.08 or 8 cents per minute. So we're going to do they're saying 10 minutes, but we're going to multiply it by 0.08. And then we're going to add to that. The last thing is that it's 0.05 minute per any additional minutes. So that we're going to have here, and we're going to take let's do it in the same order. However many minutes times 0.05, right? But we don't know the number of minutes, so we have to figure that out. But it's not the total number of minutes. If you take the total number of minutes, what do you have to do? Because the total number of minutes, well, we already accounted for 10 of them. So we're going to take the total minus 10, right? So right here, it's going to be the total minus 10. Okay, because the plus 10, the 10 right there, it gives you there, and plus 10 minus 10, they cancel, and you get the total number of minutes. Okay, so trying to erase that. Now we're going to add all these minutes. So I want to do it vertically. I just want to get out of my own way. 24, 13, 18, 45, 22, 34, 10, 15. Okay, so I'm looking for groups of 10. There's 10, there's 10, there's 8, and a 3. So I have 10, 20, 8, 29, 30, 31. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So a total of 181 minutes minus 10 gives you 171, and that goes there. So now we have a little bit of work to do. We have to do the multiplication for both of these pieces. So we have to do 10 times 0.08. And when we do that, remember, we need to figure out how many places to the right of the decimal, which is 2, okay? And we get 0, 8, placeholder, 0, 0. So that second row is all zeros because anytime you multiply by 0, you're going to get zeros. So I get 0, 8, 0. I need to move the decimal 2 places in. All right, so my answer is for this, and I'm getting messy here, but this is 0.80, okay, or 80 cents. Now I also have to do 171 times 0.05. Now there's still, if I look, 2 places to the right there, and I multiply. So I get 5, 35, 8, 0, 0, 0, 0, and I get 855. I'm moving the decimal 2 places in, so I get, this is 855. So basically I'm adding up these 3 things, and I'm sorry guys, I really ran out of room on this one. I wrote my first thing too big, but I have 1095 plus 0.80 for those first 10 minutes, and then plus 855 for all the other minutes. And I'm going to make sure you line up your decimals, and then you're going to add. So you're going to get 10, 10, 15, 23. Decimal down here, I get 10 again, and I get 20. So the total bill was $20.30. Bob has $178.74. Let me try that again. $178.74 in his checking account. He wrote checks for $36.52, $18.92, and $25.93. He also deposited $300, $100, and $205.16. What is the final balance in Bob's checking account? So the first thing I would do is I would add up how much came out, and I would add up how much went in. So how much went out? Now, this doesn't mean I'm subtracting. I'm still adding, but this is just what I lost from my bank account versus what I earned, okay, which is kind of the universal numbers, red and black. If you're in the red, you owe money. If you're in the black, you're making money. So if I wrote checks, I'm losing money. $36.52, $18.92, $25.93. So I get 357, 18.23, 10.21, 578, 81. So I lost out of my bank account, or I wrote checks out of my bank account for 81.37. Now, for the positive, he started with 178.74. He added 300. He added 100. And then he added 205.16. You have to use what you started with, because ultimately that's money he has. He's in the positive with that. Now, if he started owing money, that's a different story. So 10, 9, 13, 8, 2, 5, 6, 7. So positive, he is $783.90, and the negative, $81.37. So 783.90 minus 81.37. What are we looking at here? We're looking at 8135207. So he ended with $702.53. Okay. And the last one, a 5/16 inch bolt weighs 0.43 pounds. How many bolts are there in a 125 pound keg. So basically, if the size of the bolt really doesn't matter here. Each one is 0.43 and I want to add up to 125, but that's going to take me forever to add, so there's got to be an easier way. 0.43 times what equals 125? That would be a guess and check. So ultimately, if you take 125 and you divide it by 0.43, that's going to give you the number that fit there. So I have 0.43 on the outside. I have 125 on the inside. I'm going to move this decimal 2. I'm going to move this decimal 2. And notice where I put it. I put it at the end of the problem. And I'm going to pop it up, okay? Because any decimal that's not really there for a whole number is at the end. And now 43, I want to add. So 43, 86, 129 to 172. 215, 258, 301, 344, 387. All right, so now 43 goes into not 1, not 12, 125. Only 2 times. It gets really close, but that 129 holds it off. So we're going to say 2, 86, and we're going to get 39. We're going to bring down one of these zeros, and we get 390. So that goes in 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 times. 387, and I get 3. And I bring that down, and it does not go into 30, so I get 0, but now I add another 0 because ultimately I still have a remainder. So 43 goes into 300, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times because it does get into 301. Oh, no, it does not get into 301. Duh. So 6 for 258. And I get the eraser to happen. All right. 3 turns into 2, 0 turns into a 10, 10 turns into a 9, and that carries over. So I get 2, 4, 0, and now 42, add another one, come down here, 420, that's going to be 9 again, and I have 387. So I'm just going to come over here to see what it subtracts out to be. This gives me 110, so that gives me 3, and then 3, 1, that gives me 3. So I get 33, and it looks like this one keeps going. So for one like this, where you're looking for how many bolts are there in a 125-pound keg, and it's seemingly continuing on and on and on, because this would be, we'd bring down another 0, and we would say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it goes in 7 times. That's going to give you 301. That's going to leave you with 29. We're going to bring down the 0 to 90. We're still, we're going to continue this forever and ever. So approximately 290 bolts. Now that's not me really estimating. I did the problem, and I did it out to multiple decimals, but ultimately they don't want like 290.67 bolts because there's no, or 69 bolts, because there's no such thing as a 0.69 bolt, or 69 hundredths of a bolt. It's, it's either going to be 290 or 291. Most likely, if you were to buy 10 bags of 125 25 pounds of these bolts, the bags might not be exactly the same. They might, be off by, one might have 290, one might have 291, one might have 292 or 289. Anywhere in there is going to be correct. All right. So try some of the independent word problems, and I'll see you back here for the next section.